Do you think that, almost in a weird way, the change that we're looking for is going to happen from the ground up in a respect?
That's the only way it's going to happen. It falls on us. It falls on civil society, on civil society being well organized.
So Alejandro, I mean, as you were telling me, so you've been to so many of these meetings. My take has been, wow, I'm so grateful to be here, but I wonder what can we concretely do?
This is one of the biggest and best organized that I have ever seen, for one reason. It brings almost all the stakeholders on the issue of persecution of Christians together. You know, an agreement in which everybody says we condemn the persecution of Christians and we're willing to protect Christians. That hasn't been said sufficiently loud and in a sufficiently a collective manner. Keep in mind that for the hardcore European secularism, Christians cannot be victims. They are victimizers because because we Catholics oppose to, same-sex marriage or oppose abortion, some of the quote-unquote sacraments of the secular culture. Yeah. So in Europe, for example, they have a hard time to understand that Christians are victims.
And Alejandro, because you've been to so many of these and you kind of are able to I think, see through the fog, what's surprised you the most of this conference?
Yeah, what surprised me the most is that Christians are taking still a little time to understand that if there is one thing that ISIS got correctly, is that we are not Catholic, we are not Orthodox, we are not Melkites, we are not Armenians, we are Christians. They hate us because they are Christians, and they make no exception when they come and kill us.
In your opinion, Alejandro, when we're talking about Christian persecution, are you most worried about, being a Christian in an environment where there is no safety, there is no protection, or would you be more nervous of, let's say, the consequences of a culture like what we're seeing in secular Europe, where even to say you're a Christian, you're not risking, let's say, physical violence, but you're risking potentially professional jeopardy. You're potentially isolating yourself from the wider community. For you, when you think of Christian persecution, which one would you say you're most worried about?
That's a deeply philosophical question that I pose myself because I've been blessed with visiting those communities under persecution. I see in them a conviction that Christ has risen and that they will rise with him.
Maybe someone, a group of people who are sharing, they're saying we're being persecuted in this part of the world, and they upload a video, they're able to build these communities. Do you think that, almost in a weird way, the change that we're looking for is going to happen from the ground up in a respect?
That's the only way it's going to happen. It falls on us. It falls on civil society, on civil society being well organized. News organizations like us that can do something about it, lay organizations, movements, Catholics that get together, which is going to basically save our persecuted Christians, brothers and sisters. Our persecuted brothers and sisters believe. The bishops of a persecuted diocese, he said, I see that these people are willing to die because they believe that Christ has risen. Every theological ambivalence completely disappears, and you find faith in its most pure form.